Hi, loves. Welcome to AW Confidential. Today I'm joined by actor Jarrett Austin Brown, who stars as DiMarcus in Peacock's Stumble. What looks like comedy on the surface turns into a real conversation about ego, belonging, and what it actually takes to grow. Let's get into it. Hi, Jarrett. How are you?
I am good. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Congratulations on Stumble.
Thank you.
It's so entertaining, but it dived deeper than I thought it would. So DeMarcus, he's loud, flashy, he's very confident,
Very for sure.
but there's growth underneath all of that happens throughout the course, and I don't want to give it away. What surprised you the most as you were playing his character once you got under the hood?
Um, I don't even want to use the term surprise. I don't think anything surprised me. It was more so just like a sense of joy. And I think as an actor, we're always looking for those complexities, right? Playing that surface level thing is always like, all right, but where else can I like bite down and chew? Like, what else can I create out of this? And then seeing, him go through that arc of being, we'll call it confident. Might be a little bit of narcissism, but we'll call it confidence. But him going through that little bit of a run and then opening up, being softer, especially for the ladies on his team and creating space, and stepping more into a leading man position on that team. Just being able to play that has been an absolute delight and a joy. And yeah, I know it's kind of like,
I love that. No, that was good. That was good. I loved it. Now, the show it's just got different layers to it. Being in a space, and it's also about belonging. Now, DeMarcus was in a space where I don't want to use the term, but that's what it felt like. He didn't belong. I mean, he went from, football to cheer, but it shifted him. That move shifted him. What did it open for you personally as you made that shift? Because it's almost like two different personalities, if you know what I mean. It's like all testosterone, the guys, and then you have the cheer team, which is, you know, it's it's joyful and it's a different energy. What did that do for you personally?
I think I already had an understanding of this, but just the conversation of strong leadership and how that can change someone's life, that's all on Courtney at the end of the day. DeMarcus had Boone at first. He was in a space where yet again, he in his eyes, he was the star. It's the quarterback doing all QB rushes. He doesn't like to pass the ball. So just having that great leadership in someone's life and how far that can take someone, that belief. We get to episode 2. For anyone that hasn't seen it, so sorry, I'm gonna spoil it.
Don't give it away. No
Okay,
spoilers. No,
okay,
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
We won't. You guys better go watch it. 6 episodes out right now. 7 comes out on Friday. For anyone that has seen the episode, you see how tough love can also get somebody across that finish line. So just like I said, having someone that properly guides you and does it with love and knows like there's
Mm.
a different version of you inside. We just got to figure out how to draw it out. So
Did it teach you? I'm curious. Did it teach you anything about ego?
for sure, the ego at the end of the day, like especially in DeMarcus's case, right? It's just something that when it goes unchecked, it just keeps going. And sometimes checking ego is not like I talk about love, like you got to lead with love all the time. So when someone tries to check an ego with an ego, not to say Boone has an ego, but oftentimes that doesn't work. And when you get a Courtney that comes across and is like, listen, I got an ego, you got an ego, but I'm gonna figure out how to nurture you and nurse you out of this thing. So, like I said, just to piggyback off the last question we just answered, leading with love and light.
I love that. Ah. Now, what's one thing about the audience doesn't see about the cast chemistry? Because that's another thing that I really want to make sure I point out. The chemistry, it feels cohesive. It feels genuine. It doesn't feel forced or there's no I didn't feel any sort of gaps emotionally. It was really special. Is there anything that we don't know that made the show special?
Yeah, so we did our pilot in Atlanta, and when we got there, synergy was immediate. Like we just all meshed. It was no
Wow.
time. It was just gonna work. Then after getting to do the pilot, also just to talk about the people behind the camera. we got to see the pilot before we came back and ended up filming episode two. So I think as an actor, you just trust the work more when you see how it's being edited and the direction, and you see exactly where this thing's going. So it just allowed us actors to open up. Also, we're together way too much, like way too, probably always together. We're doing karaoke all the
Any
time.
funny moments? Karaoke. That's always funny.
There's too many to even try to name, man. Us just doing ridiculous things, all karaoke. Did we go bowling? I feel like we wanted to go bowling, but we never actually made it happen. We probably just cut it and went back to karaoke. In my dressing room, I always have a speaker. So we're always in my dressing room just having like dance sessions and listening
I
to music.
love
We have
that.
sang Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters way more times than I feel like the people that created it have. And we've also sang Defying Gravity from Wicked way more times than I think anybody else has.
Two of my favorite songs.
Yeah, we'll be in there skeleton, man, like just to the top of our lungs. I remember one time they were rolling, and I was in my dressing room, and we were playing. I think we played Wicked, and we just played the ending, where Alphaba and Galinda are having that "I hope you're happy" moment, and
Yes.
we to the top of our lungs. To where when we came out my dressing room, we walked on set, and everybody on set was just like, so
I
I was like,
love that.
you guys have been on
I
100 for like 30 minutes. So yeah, just having fun, and just making great memories. Those set days are long. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love
You
that.
gotta,
That's you
gotta,
well, you need to bounce off of each other. It's like family,
for
right?
sure.
So
Absolutely.
what's one truth about growth or belonging you wish more people were honest about today?
It
Because
takes
there's a little bit of a little bit of both on the show.
For sure, growth and belonging, they both take shame. And I feel like today a lot of people are scared to take that jump. You gotta be willing to fall on your face. You gotta be willing to go the extra mile. Because that's where the beauty's at. Once you get past that little hurdle, um, and it also just makes you more confident. It's especially on our show, we take big risk. There's so many times
Yeah.
as an actor, you might go for a take and it might be so grand that you're like, this might really not hit and it might make you look insane, but you gotta go for it. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta tell you, I have to ask, do you do all this? Do you do all the stunts? Because it's
So
intense at some
yeah, if you
moments.
see if you see flips, that's me. Anytime gymnastics is happening, that's me. Like
Wow.
the ladies are going in the air or anything like that, we have a second team that comes in. I do some of it. We
Okay.
keep everything safe though. We have so many eyes on us at all times, making sure
Wow.
everything works, and we have so many professional cheerleaders actually on the show, so it's always easy to swap in and out. And then a second team of stuntsmen and women as well.
I
But
love
I do a
that.
lot of it though. I do a lot of it.
That's awesome. And I have to ask, Stumble is funny, but it also says something about belonging and teamwork. Why? And it's just it I think the humor gives it sort of it's icing on the cake for me. Why do you think humor is such a powerful way to tell these truths, especially today?
Because it goes back to the shame. It's like a weird tangent, but it goes back to the shame thing. If you're willing to laugh at yourself, then you view life through a different lens. You don't take things so serious. You realize that things keep going, things keep moving forward. And that's ultimately what our show is doing. There's so many moments that do invoke laughter, and you might be rolling on the floor, or it might be like a little chuckle, but at the end of the day, that little bit of laughter brings a little bit of light to your heart that just allows you to keep going.
Wow, Jarrett, you embody love and light. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and just chatting with me today. Appreciate you.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of AW Confidential. Make sure to check out Stumble on Peacock and tap into more conversations of the podcast where nothing is confidential. Please subscribe, share with your friends, like, comment. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon, loves. Bye.